Hi everyone. On behalf of the staff and students at Muse Elementary, Tom and I would like to thank you for inviting us here this evening. As you know, most of the elementary buildings, this is my support system. Most of the elementary buildings have a theme or a school-wide positive behavior that we're looking at, and at Muse what we have is that heroes lead with power. So a lot of the times we encourage our students to use their power. Power, the letters in power represent positive and respectful, own your behavior, work safely, encourage others, and be ready to learn. But what we'd like to do tonight is we have a few staff members here with us. We have Natalie Blackburn, the art teacher, Stephanie Myers, 4th grade teacher, and Mrs. Beth Farnsworth, the librarian, and we'd like to share with you how we use our power beyond the classroom.
So one of the things we do is we actually volunteer at the Canon-McMillan Food Pantry, and it's nice because our staff does it almost every December, and then usually in November we also sign up to do it with our students. So the students and their parents come and they volunteer their time, and this has actually been fantastic because I had a student last year whose parent teaches in the district, and their students this year are also going to be volunteering at the food pantry this year too. And it's funny too because we go back and we actually see students from previous years with their parents back volunteering. So it's actually something they really enjoy too. And the next thing we do is we stand at the Salvation Army kettle during the holidays. Teachers volunteer their time at the John Eagle and TJ Maxx. We have a food drive in the month of November to gather food for the families in our community, and also we do a toy drive. This year we're actually going to be donating toys to the Children's Hospital. Instead of doing a grab bag with the students, instead of doing that, we ask that they donate, and they really enjoy it. So that's one of the things.
Contacts us, and then we just do the drive through our building. We reach out to our parents and ask them to donate. So she is the contact person. She collects the food from our building and then distributes it.
Okay. Good.
Doesn't she give you, has some people, families that and you, do you give presents for those families?
Oh, that information is confidential.
No, I know
So
that,
she doesn't,
yeah. But I mean,
so
sometimes.
she doesn't share the food part with us. But separately, we do an angel tree.
Okay.
We don't have that showing up there, but we do an angel tree in the building that our guidance counselor reaches out to our families and asks.
I
what
do
they
have
need.
to say this, Mrs. Lucian is phenomenal because she absolutely does the exact same thing with our kids in our district to businesses. And because my brother's company does baskets for Canon-Mac, big by Becky. So I have to say she does a phenomenal job.
And then we do blessings in a backpack, backpack. We are able to, our faculty members, we pack a few times a month. And weekly, the students who need like macaroni and cheese packets, fruit snacks and things like that go home for those who get home earlier and they don't have someone there to help them maybe, or they don't have the supplies they need. But we pack for them and we pass them out every Friday to those students. So it's a really, really great thing.
This past spring for Read Across America Week, we collected money for the Frank Sayers Public Library. We did a fundraiser, and the students and staff raised a little over $3,000. We started out on a Monday, I think, collecting pennies, and then Tuesday we collected nickels in a big, what are those water cooler jug things. So they love doing that. And then Wednesday was dimes, and Thursday was quarters, and they were able to raise quite a bit of money.
That's a lot of money with change.
They cleaned out their couches and car seats and all that. Yeah, so they enjoy doing that. They like filling up the jugs. This is Andrew. He's a 2nd grade student at Muse. And Andrew had a goal that he was a little upset that students can't buy an abundance of books when they come to the book fair because different families donate different amounts of money. So Andrew created his own book. He was the author, he was the illustrator, he designed it, and then he made copies of it and sold them. And the money that he raised, he donated to our PTO for the book fair to use this year. And Andrew also made an additional copy that is like a harder laminate copy. And we put a barcode on it in the library, and the students love to check it out and take it home for a week. So he is definitely a superhero in
So,
our school.
the money that he raised with this little book, it goes to your book sales,
Correct.
and the kids, they use it for kids who can't afford.
Correct.
Awesome.
So he gave it to our PTO that runs our book fair. They kept the money to the side, so any student who forgot money, who didn't have money, Andrew made that donation so they could still purchase a book.
So nice.
And this was our annual spring superhero luncheon that the kids are so excited for. They know that it's coming, and they get really amped up that they are going to sit beside one of the first responders at lunch that day. So they sit right, you can see in the pictures, they're sitting right beside them in the seats. They talk to them about their day, things that they do on the job. G-rated, obviously. And they are true superheroes to these kids. We were very fortunate enough to have approximately 25 first responders attend this spring.
Next, not only are we working at Muse Elementary to become better to one another, to other people, we're also working to make our planet a little bit better through some recycling efforts. The first one at the top, the boxes, that is a part of the crayon initiative that we do. At the end of the school year, oftentimes students clean out their desks, and teachers are cleaning out their classrooms, and crayons are just ending up into the garbage can. So we started, actually when we were small little Cecil, we started collecting crayons, and that continued at the new Muse Elementary. We were able to collect 65 pounds of broken and unused crayons that otherwise would go into the trash. And AC Moore, which is a craft company similar to Michael's, they are a donation spot that you take the crayons to them. They actually match pound for pound and give a monetary donation to the Crayon Initiative. Those crayons are then melted down, made into new crayons, and they're distributed to children's hospitals across the country. So we were able to actually donate the equivalent of 325 new packs of crayons to students and children in children's hospitals. On that same vein, Crayola also has a similar promotion. They do the color cycle, which is markers, and so Crayola will accept any type of marker, any shape, size, or brand. On that one, I say 32 pounds of markers were collected. You enter in online, Crayola pays the shipping. I think it was UPS that took it out, and they will recycle those, also keeping that out of landfills as well. So students are very excited. I know as we continue in our school, it gets bigger and bigger. They're telling their parents. I know there's a couple parents that have told me that they've set up collecting stations at their businesses, so kids bring them in bag by bag and they collect that way. So hopefully we'll get even more next year. Another thing that we did with recycling was the bottle caps and lids on top of bottles. I have a box right inside of my art room that is just piling and piling up full of bottle caps. And last year we were able to make this 6-foot recycled art mural, which all of those are just bottle lids of different colors. It's a fun project that third grade completes, but the whole school is involved with it because the sorting of caps by color, it takes a while to do. And it's able to go cross-curricular with like the younger kids. They enjoy sorting it by colors, but some of the older kids, they see how many red ones do we collect, how many green ones did they collect. So there's kind of some math in the process when we sort them. It's in the library now.
It is. It actually is displayed much more beautifully in the library than is pictured there. There's a nice frame that matches the wood color to the shelves that the maintenance department put together, and it's hung very beautifully. One cool thing though, when they were collecting the caps, and they came in and they saw it in the library, and they said, "This is why you brought in all the caps," and they were pretty amazed. Like, wow, look, you can actually make something from it.
Who actually made
Third grade students.
it?
Yeah. So it was kind of they first had to come up with a design, and then they kind of merged their designs together. So one wanted to do like an underwater thing, one wanted to do the sunshine, so we kind of merged those ideas together. They first painted it on foam
Koi
board.
pond.
I'm sorry?
Is it a koi pond?
Yeah, I guess. It's open for interpretation. Some think it's a shark, some people think it's a whale.
Stingray, I've had.
Yeah, you know, so it's in the audience to decide what they want it to be. But we do have tons and tons of caps left, so we are planning to do another one to match that one. We haven't came up with a design yet. Another thing that was going on in Muse Elementary, I guess in the vein of recycling, was when we first merged schools together, that came with a lot of extra things, and for some reason, I think probably because the art room is in the center of our school, that seemed to be a dumping ground of, I don't want to use this anymore, maybe the art teacher wants it. So a chalkboard was left in front of my room, and it started just kind of saying, hey, happy first day of school, and then the next day I said happy second day of school, and then eventually it turned into every single day of school drawing on a chalkboard. At first it was just fun facts, now it's positive quotes that the students read each day, and I've been posting them online, and I guess through the power of social media, Mr. Brian Skavnak, he is the founder of Be the Nice Kid. He's actually from Minnesota. He saw the board and thought that it was a really cool thing, that it was spreading positivity, so he asked me to be a illustrator for a book that he's doing. He travels around to different schools, and he sends out a positive message. We were lucky enough to have Brian visit us last Monday, and he spent the day with the kids. He gave 4 assemblies to the different grades. He played with the kids at lunch, in recess, and just really was spreading the positivity of his message of, you know, some kids are smarter than you, some kids might have cooler clothes than you, it doesn't matter, you have your thing too. So we really stress that each student is unique and different, and they all have the power to kind of be the nice kid and make that their thing. So there's a couple of the illustrations from the activity book that we're working on. It's in the editing stages now, so it should be made available next year. So we showed off the illustrations, and I think the next slide.
I have to tell you, there was quite a few pieces on Facebook that Morgan put on for you that about your Be the Nice Kid. And it was, I saw them all, it was awesome.
Thank you.
Good thing.
That's
Very good thing.
very exciting.
It's very, I guess, out of the ordinary. It's just, you know, you never know that, like, who's actually looking at
But
what you're
people
posting.
now know what you do
Yeah.
because they see it on Facebook.
We had to keep it a secret for a while because we needed to get his permission.
Oh, absolutely.
So we kind of had it down low for a little bit, and then he finally came to the building. So that was
really,
you see.
really awesome.
So, the poster that's in the background, it says you have your thing too. Each of the kids actually signed it with whatever their thing was or what they could do to be able to help others. So it was a nice interactive poster, and Brian, he took pictures of it and posted it on the Be the Nice Kid website. So we worked all summer on it, and we finished up about the middle of October. So we're hoping for next year for it to be released. So I'll let you know when that happens. I guess so, at least as an illustrator.
Good for you. So exciting.
So thank you for allowing us to take a few minutes here just to show you how we use our power.
Thank you. What great activity.
Great activity.